Some 50 years ago, a little girl was born in Roanoke, Virginia, and raised in a Southern Baptist family. Did dance lessons and was prissy and all the things that she was supposed to do. And on the other side, she went with her dad to fishing and hunting and digging ditches in the backyard and learned how to run, let's see, how many electric or gas-powered items do I have in my basement? So I've been through the spectrum. At 19, I left Roanoke, Virginia and went away to college in Winchester and found true love. All that time, you know, being a good little Southern Baptist girl, I was supposed to marry a boy, and my mom said, be sure you get a man with good insurance. Well, hell, I didn't realize what that meant until 2013. And I wish my wife had good insurance, but needless to say, found love, stayed in that relationship for 7 years, and moved back to Roanoke. The mountains call your name when you move away from here, and you always return. And I'm glad that I did, because there's so much going on in my city. 12 years ago, I met this young woman who is 16 and a half years my junior. And I absolutely lost my heart. And last year was celebrating 12 years. We decided we were going to make our relationship legal. So I looked into what legal meant. Well, that's not something in Virginia. I paid my taxes. Let's see, state, income, federal, personal property, all the things that you do as a good citizen. But I couldn't marry my wife. I couldn't take this woman who I'd spent 12 years with and enjoy being legally married to her. This isn't a fling. This isn't, we've been together 3 months, we got the U-Haul, and we want to go get married. This was 12 years of building a relationship with someone. 12 years of fights and love and, you know, all the things that you go through. Who washes the dishes, who mows the yard, who cooks, well, that's me, and even who works on the cars, that's me. And my wife is not the fingernail wearing, makeup kind of gal. She's just a little simple old girl that, you know, enjoys volleyball and all those kind of things. And the more I looked at every little aspect of my relationship with her, the more I knew she was the one, forever. And against all odds, you know, my mother telling me, she's a kid, you know, because I met her when I was in my 30s, and something about her still intrigued me. And I talked to, you know, did a little internet search and thought, well, okay, D.C. is the closest area. I used to live in D.C., in the D.C. area for a while, so I always wanted to get married on the water. That was my thing. I wanted to hear water and the ocean or the lake or something. So I contacted Wes Jamison. I don't know if any of you all know him, but he is a minister from Roanoke and now lives in Maryland and has done numerous unity ceremonies for couples. And, oh, excuse me, it was breakfast. And, all these big muscle cars are flipping me out. I don't know about y'all, but, you know. So I contacted to Wes, and he said, well, you know, it would be an honor for me to marry you, but I haven't gotten recognized in D.C. as a minister yet. And so he said, but for you, I will do that. So we go through the steps, and I go up, and we go to this wonderful place. I will give it a shout out, Riverside Grill. It's on the Potomac River, and we got married right on the boardwalk, just like I wanted. Didn't rain until 5 minutes after the ceremony. Thank you, Jesus. And Wes he wrote the most meaningful words in the world. So give a shout out for Wes, for anybody who's thinking about getting married, going to D.C. But he is a wonderful person, and he said everything that I could have even imagined that would have been in a wedding ceremony. My best friend Rodney went with me, and he was my best man, and he was Terry's maid of honor. And if you know Rodney, he fits the bill for both. And he stood up for us. And then when we came back to Roanoke, we had a ceremony for our family and friends. And he used the words that Wes had written for us. And in front of my mother and Terry's mother and all our family and a grouping of friends, we did our ceremony here. Point to my story, I should have been able to do my ceremony here in the beginning. I shouldn't have had to go out of my state that I was born in, that I pay taxes in, that I'm a resident of, that I stand up and do community service for as much as I possibly can. And I should have been able to legally marry my wife. Thank you, ma'am. So until that point, I will stand up and fight for everybody else's rights. I will speak at anything I can get a microphone in my hand for. I will sit and listen to beautiful music. I will applaud other speakers. And as the gentleman before me who's doing Floyd Pride today knows, with a last name like Maberry, which is Maberry Funeral Home in Floyd, I have roots in Floyd, and I wish I could be there today, because that absolutely, I'm going to tell you, flips me out if you know Floyd. But looking at this, we have a pride in Floyd, Virginia, y'all. I mean, this is not Richmond, this is not Roanoke, this is not a larger city like Harrisonburg or Arlington, Alexandria. This is Floyd, Virginia. And I applaud you, and I stand up as a Maberry, and I am proud to be a distant relative of Floyd. I mean, look how amazing that is, and I thank you so much, because this is what we need. And if people would stand up in smaller communities across this state, then we would be recognized tenfold. And all I can do is encourage you all, if you have friends in different parts of the state, help them, talk to them, encourage them, go stand beside them, and help them make it possibility in every little city, because every little city has a loud damn voice when it comes to paying taxes, and they will listen. I read something online last night from Robert Casey Jr., who is a senator for Pennsylvania. He's a politician, he is a lawyer, and he is heterosexual. And he stood up and he told his constituents in his state that he was going to make sure that he would be there and push and push and push for Pennsylvania to be on that list of now 14 localities that we can go and be married in and be legally recognized. Stand up for your rights, whether you are a member of the lesbian, gay, and transgender community, or whether you are one of our wonderful advocates who are heterosexual. We need you. Stand up. Make your voices heard, and smile and be proud, and march just like they're going to do today in Floyd, Virginia. Thank you again.